If you know me, you know I got a lot of thoughts. And tonight I want to talk about something that's followed me my whole life. It's loyalty. And what happens when you're born with this trait that you really can't shake off. I see I was never really a people pleaser. I think mainly because I never really fit in anywhere. I was too black to hang with the white kids, too white to hang with the black kids. I wasn't a thug. I wasn't no standout athlete, and I wasn't the loudest person in the room. Even now, I kind of move like a lone wolf, if anything. My only one true real friend I've known since first grade, and I consider him like family. I'm a naturally blunt person. I'm quiet until I've had enough. And then if I don't say how I feel, trust me, my face is probably gonna tell you how I feel. My face is gonna tell it all. I'm not gonna lie, my face will tell it all. My face snitches on me a lot. But underneath all that, I've been loyal to a fault my entire life. And honestly, that loyalty has cost me more than I care to admit. So today, that's what I'm going to get into. Here's the thing about loyalty: when it's really in you, it's in you. You know, like can't shake it. This is who you are. It's not something that you. It's not something that you just wake up and decide one day. That's how I'm gonna move. And for the most of my life, that's been both the greatest strength and the thing that's hurt me the most when it comes to people. I've always been that person to show up. If somebody needs my help, I'm there. Needed somebody to listen to, I'm there. Need loyalty, I gave that without thinking twice, especially if you done right by me. Or I feel like you're a good person, we built that trust. I'm gonna be loyal to you. It's a natural thing. But what I've learned, and not everybody operates like that. Some people only know how to take it. Right? That's the crazy part though. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment you finally hit your limit, not receiving that same kind of energy, suddenly you become that problem. Now you got an attitude. Now you're difficult. Now you're aggressive. But people don't see the times that you stayed quiet. All the time you held it together, and all the times you let stuff slide. So being loyal doesn't make you weak, but being loyal to people who never deserved it, that will slowly drain you without even realizing it. Biggest thing that loyalty has cost me is trust. When you constantly giving people your energy, your time, your presence, and keep getting the short end of the stick, that shit gonna change you. And it's not like it's an overnight thing. It's not like, oh, they did wrong by you this one time, so now you gotta do your loyalty. No, because if you're human, you understand people make mistakes, or sometimes people get so caught up in their life that they don't even realize it. And if you address it, cool. But if you address it and you still getting the same, you're not getting the same energy back, or you're not reciprocating with what you putting in. Like it's like the whole karma. I'm pouring into you, but you don't want to pour into me. So like, and it's a slow thing that happens because people thinking your loyalty just switches overnight. That's like, no, it didn't switch overnight. It's a slow burn, you know, and while you slowly push people away because of that loyalty that you have for them, because you start protecting yourself in ways you don't even notice at first. And like when somebody asks you you're okay, and instantly you're saying, yeah, I'm good, even when I'm not okay. Along that line, you learn that vulnerability doesn't always lead somewhere safe. Sometimes behind that I'm good is really anger, it's really hurt, it's really disappointment. And after a while, that hurt turns into numbness. And coming from somebody who's been there a number of times growing up, that's a dangerous part to be in. And that numbness, because when you're numb, you don't feel. It's like you don't care. Nothing matters no more. And it's also a place of almost comfort. because you feel protected. That's why nowadays I stay to myself a lot. That's why I don't really get into big circles. If you saw me and if you saw me in real life, you would probably see me by myself 9 times out of 10, walking somewhere, shopping somewhere, anywhere you can possibly ever catch me. You would probably see me by myself. I'm probably gonna be quiet and I'm gonna be in my own little world. I mean, I'm really not paying no mind to nobody around me. Of course, I'm always on the visual, knowing my surroundings to protect myself. But as far as me trying to interact with anybody new, it's probably not gonna happen. And it's not necessarily because like I hate people or I'm antisocial. I just learned that everybody can't go where I'm going, you know? And honestly, I'd rather just have a handful of real people than a room full of fake ass people to connect with. It's kind of where this podcast really came from as well. Like I've told people before, this podcast is more than just me doing things that is saturated. I've said that in the podcast before. I said that in one of my podcasts before. It's really a thing for me to express how I feel, what I've been through, and hopefully somebody else out there can catch it too. And they know they're not alone when it comes to this. So, and it's almost like it's a therapeutic thing for me. That's why I do this podcast as well. But and this leads into something else I want to get into, and not to veer off track again, because I could always get on a rant, but I like to stay in the spot to get this message out and just to allow me another way to get off my shoulders when I talk to y'all. So I naturally created a policy for myself. It's two policies I really kind of keep for myself and that I've developed like over time. My first policy, I always have an open door policy. My door is open. People can come, people can go, however they want. I'm not begging you to stay. I'm not chasing nobody. If you want to be in my life, cool. If not, cool. But understand something. The minute I close that door, I don't slam it. I don't make a scene. I just quietly stop opening it. And by the time I reach that point, you probably got more chances than you deserve. Second policy is this, and this kind of goes back to what I've said before about my goals, if you know me. When I'm focused and moving, when I'm focused and moving towards something like a goal or whatever, that's me in the car driving. I see that destination, I'm gonna reach that destination because that goal is driving me. That goal, that dream, that possibility, that optimism that I rarely even have within life in myself. When I'm locked in like that, I'm focused. I'm in that car and I'm riding. You can get in with me. But either way, this car ain't stopping. I want you to understand that. I want you to hear that. I want you to feel that. This car ain't stopping. I'm not pulling over. I'm not even going to slow down. I'm not going to shrink what I'm building. So if somebody decides they want to leave, they got to jump out this moving vehicle. Because my grind don't stop for comfort. My vision does not pause. And those two policies that I keep for myself has saved me more stress than people realize. And I say that because I don't have no expectations of people. Like I don't have no expectations of people. For what? And kind of jumping into like what I'm about to talk about next too is like, as much as I hated negativity and dealing with not getting that loyalty back in return and everything, I can probably see the positive out of that, and it's part of the reason why I had to go through some of those things with people, because it taught me something. And this is kind of what I want you to think about too when you after you get done listening to this and kind of reflect over your life and the people in it, I've learned how to read patterns. And guess what? Those patterns really don't lie. There's plenty of books out there you can read that can get you on that foundation. But a lot of times these patterns do not lie. You see it all the time. A lot of times these patterns also go with these personality books. But if you've been hurt enough, you start seeing these patterns a lot. You notice who calls when they need something. You notice who disappears when you need support. You notice who claps for you in public. But quietly hopes you stay small. And even after a while, you stop listening to words and you start watching the actions. Because, like that old saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Actions will always tell you the truth eventually. And I'm not saying become a cold-hearted person and just become cold. I'm not even saying shut everybody out. But what I am saying is be honest with yourself and about what you're seeing. Loyalty is a gift. And you got to stop handing that expensive gift to people who treat them like a cheap ass gift. Before I end this, I want to talk to somebody specific. I know, like, man, he says that all the time. Maybe I do. It is what it is, man. But I know you're on my podcast. And if you listen to me, you know that this is my way of paying it forward to people out there that I probably would never see or come in contact with. Sometimes I feel this is just my way of blessing you or just putting that seed that you need to move on to the next step or to heal yourself or to start realizing some things or have somebody co-sign, you know what, I've been thinking that. But this is that cosign. This is that person. This is that voice that's telling you, dig deeper and think about it a little bit more. But I want you to think about this. If you've been loyal your whole life, and all it seems to do is hurt you, I get it. If you feel yourself slowly pulling away from people, I get it. If you feel numb sometimes, I get it. But don't let yourself get too comfortable in that dark place. Because as I mentioned before, that numbness starts to feel safe after a while. And climbing out of it is harder than what people think. That's where I've been for a long time. And that's why I want to emphasize on don't let people who are not treating you with that same energy and not giving you that same loyalty, don't go to that numbness place. Don't go to that dark place. Yes, it might feel cool. Yes, it might feel safe, but it's not a good place to be at. So if you're there, I just want you to get out of it. I want you to see light. But if you're there or you're almost headed there, I want you to stop. Protect your peace, pay attention to patterns, and give yourself grace. Stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself sometimes. Keep that door open for the right people. Keep that car moving. And remember, the only loyalty you owe without question is the loyalty to yourself. If you ride with me, cool. If not, that's cool too. This been Catching Life Strays. I'll holler at you next time.